All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekly Collective. What a difference a couple of weeks makes. Finally, everything is set up here, although I think I needed to turn this one on. Everything's set up. Feeling much better about the connection and how everything looks. Good to see all of you. I hope your weekend has gotten off to a great start. Thank you so much for joining me. This is always a highlight, being able to be here and be present and channel all of the messages for you. While I'm getting one thing set up on the side, let's just talk about what this is going to entail. Basically, not that. Basically, this is a weekly collective where we take a look at the next 7 days. We're going to focus on any high points or challenges. We're going to take it in 3 major categories. We'll look at 7-day forecast elements, and then we get into the main forecast. And today, the popular choice was the Raven, which is interesting, the crow, basically. So what's ending, what's beginning? I think it's a fantastic choice. And I was gifted a couple of decks that actually have like ravens and crows in them. So we will definitely take a look at that. Let me just turn on one of my cameras on the side here. So apologies. I thought everything was ready, but there's always one last thing. So yes, slowly been getting my office set up again. It does take time, but yeah, I think it's looking better than before, and everything's operating properly. So thanks for being patient. It almost takes a full month to get reconfigured when you're starting from scratch. All right, let's get into the reading. There's a lot to talk about today. I want to start off with live channeled messages like I've been doing recently. There were some really interesting things that came through in dreams today. The first thing that I picked up on was to really allow yourself to go out there, like beyond what you normally would. It was a very imaginative dream. And when I was looking out in the audience, first of all, there were 2 things that I heard. A high frequency sound, almost like in the old fashioned days when you would connect with a modem, but it was really, really high frequency. And then when I started to gaze out at the people in the audience, I'm like, these aren't human. So this to me actually represents guides, ascended masters, and angelic entities. But what it's telling me is in this moment in time, you're not meant to necessarily do something expected. And you have this sort of support team allowing you to connect with something bigger or better than what you were initially brought into this planet and told you could do. So we're given it's almost like an operating system when we're kids. Teachers, society, and just the tools and resources around us. So here's what you can do. But the cool thing about the human race is that it continues to evolve, imagine, question, push. And in this moment in time, you're allowed to do all of the above. So we don't get to do it a lot as adults, unfortunately. We feel like sometimes we have to just, do the tried and true because taking a risk could be risky. But also that is where growth happens. So I just saw something that looked imaginative, futuristic, sci-fi out there, but that also is kind of how things happen. We see things happening in fiction or science fiction that eventually then shape our future. So don't be afraid to dream. That's the first message that I got loud and clear. The other thing that I was picking up on here, the word that I'm continuing to receive even right now is it's a test or testing. Some of you may be taking a test right now, and what I'm being told on this one is there's too much pressure that you're putting on yourself to achieve a certain grade or to do something like that. It's more about kind of like bringing in the knowledge, bringing in the experience. Whether it takes 1 or 2 attempts to get the passing grade or whatever, that's not as important. So the test is actually not the test itself. It's how you react to the pressure and to the buildup of this. In a larger context, for those of us that are not students or taking any sort of written exam, it's saying this testing situation, this trying moment. It could be a health shakeup. It could be a financial challenge, because a test can be all of those things. There is something bigger and better that is beyond this, and being able to be graceful under pressure, being able to see beyond the situation. That's actually what the guides are showing me. See beyond the present situation. That is how you pass the test. So the test is not the test. That's kind of the takeaway here. There's something bigger beyond this, and it's what you're learning and what you're building internally in this moment that is going to serve you so well, not only in the days and weeks to come, but in the years to come. Okay? So those are the two messages that came through. Don't be afraid to dream and look beyond this current situation. It's not as big as it seems. It's not as complex as it seems. It's not as important as it seems. What's going on inside, that's what matters. You called in the test to build the character, okay? There you go. And again, I get it. Sometimes it's a combination of those things. There could be challenges with your health. There could be challenges with a relationship, a lot of different things at once. All right, let's get into the 7-day forecast. Because we're talking about crows, let's use this beautiful deck that I was gifted that has crows on it. Thank you to everybody. I'm going to work on getting a graphic up. Maybe it's probably going to be 2 or 3 pages, but then I'll start showing it for the next couple months just to thank everyone at once rather than stopping the flow and thanking everybody. But I just want to say thanks to the viewers today. You guys made it all possible. Okay, so let's do the 7-day forecast here. This is going to break down all of the energy here between this Sunday and next. Kind of Halloween vibe to this with all the birds. I've never read with this deck, so it's kind of beautiful actually. Thank you so much. It was one that I put on when I was rebuilding my office. I'm like, I've always wanted to try this one. Let's give it a shot. So thanks again to those of you that gave me these decks. You're making it all possible. All right, let's go to the 7-day forecast. We're going to start off with the energy of today, Sunday. And we have the 3 of Wands here. It's a beautiful 3 of Wands too. This is a chance for you to meet opportunity halfway and also to feel the flow of productivity. We look up in the corner on this and you can actually see the star. So there is really, this is why I was saying reach higher. I was just doing this in a daily, wasn't I? The judgment card. I was like, this sounds very familiar. Yes, it's because we just talked about it. So reach higher, and you never know what you can accomplish if you allow your imagination to really flow in that direction. Because crows are the totem that you chose for me today, the other thing is they're not afraid to be loud, to speak up, to make some noise. And to get your dream to come into fruition, you might have to do all of that. But look at all of the beautiful water behind the crow. So it's very possible right now when you speak something into existence, ask like why or why not or how, all of a sudden things start to flow in the right direction and really start to get exciting here. So great day today for planning. It's a great day to take something that you've already started and bring it to the next level. I know it's the weekend, but it doesn't matter. It's still a productive day. I mean, I'm working on a Sunday, so it can be inner work. It could be planning. It could be traditional work because I'm one of many people across the world that work on the weekends. A lot of people in service jobs do it as well. You're in good company. You can get a lot done today, okay? Very productive energy. Don't be afraid also to get near the water. This card always has water in it, but it's specifically strong in this one. So if you are close to nature and you can get to a stream, river, beach, pond, whatever, or just give yourself time today to connect with the element of water, that's going to help bring things to the next level. Okay, so we're starting off really great, actually. Let's look at Monday. Hello, thank you. I'm so tired of looking at the Tower and the Ten of Swords as I've been doing in the daily reads. So we have retrograde ending, what, on the 28th this week, I think, something like that. So I'm already starting to see the energy move in a right direction here. I mentioned reaching for the star because so the star is in the corner, and then we see the star energy coming through. This is a really great day to be seen, to make some sort of a presentation, to also make a splash. You don't need to sort of be the quiet one on Monday. So meetings, dates, presentations, for those of you that actually are in a high-profile position or are taking a role right now where there's a lot of eyes on you, we actually see praise or positive reception on Monday, okay? Spiritual development, just like High Priestess energy, is connected to the star, and it reminds you that when you are authentic, you are your most powerful, okay? Beautiful energy coming through, and yay for that. Like I said, it's been it's been a minute since we've gotten, like, pretty much all the cards here are positive. So I can definitely see the retrograde energy starting to shift. We'll still be in the shadow until September, but it's starting to change, folks, and that's good. So that was Monday. I've been forgetting to put the day markers up. Let's look at Tuesday here. On Tuesday, we have the Ace of Wands coming through. This is a day now to take something, a new idea, your own passion, your own inspiration, and bring it next level. This is also saying all aces are potential. Don't just sit on the idea, like really allow it to take flight. So it can just start with a conversation or an email, or you picking up a book or getting inspired. But whatever you do, try to do a little bit of movement on it, because I do see a little bit of stagnant energy in this ace. The one thing that I do like is that it's getting perspective and it's looking around and seeing, is there a better way? Is there an easier way to bring this idea into fruition? This ultimately is a light bulb moment. So you get this inspiration, you get this idea, things start to move in the right direction. You've got to keep the power going to that light bulb though, and that's the sort of additional message coming through on that. Okay, so we just looked at Monday and Tuesday. Now let's look at the midweek at Wednesday. We have the Emperor card, upright position. Great day to step into and embrace your power. Great day to speak up in general. If you have to lead anything, you're in a great position of power. I mean, the Monday and Wednesday are very similar energy with Star and Emperor, but this is really about getting to business. So finding a way to say, this is what I want. How are we doing on this? Like, definitely embracing that boss power. Get up and stretch a little bit. Sometimes an Emperor can, again, be a little bit too static or too planted in one space. So the more that you're able to listen and look around, the more that you're able to be efficient, basically. It's interesting that this Emperor is sitting on a sword, kind of bringing in a little bit of King of Swords energy. So definitely, I mean, the crows overall are going to be loud. They're going to speak up. So if there's something that you need to say it quickly, say it directly, but definitely speak. Words are power, and that's what this Emperor is reminding us, okay? As we look at Thursday, you can cool down just a little bit and relax. The Temperance card is reminding you everything comes in moderation, and we see the crows starting to level things off. Always on that card, you'll have the 2 cups. There could be someone in your life, too, that comes in and plays the role of the Temperance angel. So they're helping you see the bigger picture, not get, stressed out, not focus so much on like putting the blinders on and just trying to get to the finish line. To look around. This is a great day to just relax. So whatever that is for you, whether that's reading a book, taking a walk, taking a day off, or just saying, wow, look at how far we've come. And maybe celebrating that with someone that you are working with or someone that you love, and just saying thank you for your part in this, and thanks for just being present with me today. So partnership is coming through, and it's gentle partnership. You shouldn't have to push on Thursday. Also a great day for meditation, yoga, any sort of mindful energy, right? Okay, looking here at Friday, decision time. It's interesting because we have the swords sort of coming through midweek. There could be a Libra, there could be a legal issue that's coming through. Towards the end of the week, it looks like a decision has been made. So we have the scales of justice in your favor because they're upright. We do have the bird kind of blinded though, so there is an opportunity here to make sure that you're seeing things from all angles before making a decision, trying to understand someone else's POV when they've made their own decision. You may or may not agree with it, but this is a chance here to move forward, also to create just better balance in your life. And much like I was talking about in the daily read, there's a lot of synchronicity between the Sunday reading and now what I'm reading here. I said with judgment, people are looking to you. Justice is the same way. The difference here is that the decision hasn't necessarily been made. You're still sort of weighing the options. So the ideal situation is by the end of the day, Friday, you've come to a clear decision on what it is that you want to do, and that's going to help open up channels of opportunity in the week ahead. Okay? Let's look at next weekend. Looking at the energy of next Saturday, here's what we've got. We have Page of Pentacles. There could be an offer on the table. Someone could be saying, hey, it could be an invitation, like, hey, do you want to come to a party? There could be someone that sends out an offer for a job or an invitation for something new. It's up to you to decide. The bird is looking at that ace and saying, or that, yeah, basically, it's even though it's a page, but they're looking at that coin and saying, do I want this? Pages also communicate needs, desires, wants, and expectations. So if there's something you need, if there's a lack of something that you see and you want to remedy that, you can say, this is what I need, this is what I want, and you can start to bring that into balance, okay? The other thing that I'm seeing here is a reward, because for those of you that have ever researched crows, they have a memory, they're able to remember humans that treat them well, and sometimes they bring them little baubles and things that they find from the world. And this reminds me of one of those rewards that the bird is coming and saying, thank you for being you. It's a great day to express gratitude and to remember people. So I just moved into a new building. I try to remember people that like are on the management team or like any of the new neighbors. I really work hard to kind of lock that in. It takes me 2 to 3 attempts and then I've got the name, because it makes a difference when somebody remembers, right? There's a lot of people that just don't care or don't try. So try to remember, try to acknowledge. It makes all the difference, and then you have like a new connection, new respect also with somebody in your life. Okay, turning the camera down, taking a look here at next Sunday, a week from today, starting the new month too. I think next Sunday is the 1st, right? So we have 3 of Pentacles, fantastic energy here. So teamwork. This is a great card. You can actually see it's taking more than one of the birds here to get things organized. It's a great day for learning. 8 of Pentacles is just starting something new, but 3 of Pentacles is really mastering it. So you have a chance to, whatever you set your mind to really get something out of it. So I highly encourage any sort of learning activity. It's the writer's card. So if there's something that you want to put into writing, any sort of writing, whether creative, technical, or even just like, financial, whatever you're trying to get organized. This is also a really good work day. And I know some of you are like, Sunday's supposed to be the fun day, but Sunday can sometimes be a really productive day. And that's what I'm seeing with this card here as well. And at the very least, putting some plans together, okay? So I kind of love this week. Let's look at highlights and challenges, and then we'll move on to the next section. So not a lot of challenges. When I'm trying to see like, I have to stretch, I have to pull. So I would say one of the challenges on Tuesday is to not rest on your laurels too much, because that's kind of the impression that I got from this Ace of Wands, to take an idea to the next level. I think midweek on Wednesday it's just using your voice, and Thursday it's calming down. But the highlights, I really think today, Monday, and next Sunday. So the Sundays and Monday are fantastic. It's a good week. I can feel retrograde energy starting to lighten up. Many of us, myself included, have felt the intensity of this, so yay for that. I love this deck so much. I do have to say thanks to whoever got this, so hold on. This is a really nice addition to my collection, so thank you so much. I'm not going to say the last name, just the first name, if there was a gift certificate in this one. So who did this? Cindy. Cindy, thank you so much. What a beautiful deck this is. I don't know why I didn't try it sooner. I think sometimes you look at crows and you're like, is this going to be fun to read with? Actually, yes, it is. All right, so let's go ahead and expand this to take a look at the elements. This is going to be the only piece of today's reading that basically is sign specific. As you know, everything else here is for the collective. So let me get to the element graphic. I was trying to find that and clear all the cards here for a second. Maybe we'll just keep using this. Let's mix it up. It's fun to have some new stuff. So I had this deck before, but I'm bringing it back into rotation. So we'll take a look at the Raven's Prophecy. So hold on. I still need like another table on the side here, so apologies for that. Let's see, I must have it on the table here. Oh, here it is. Still getting organized. All right. So we're going to look at sun, rise. Not sun, rising moon. We're going to look at fire, earth, air, and water. All right. Close your eyes, clear your mind. Let's see what's coming through for the elements. Fire, earth, air, and water. We're going to leave these in the upright position because I didn't have a chance to thoroughly shuffle that, so the reversals are just because of that. Okay, and let's see what's going on here. So we're going to start off with fire first. On fire, we have the Five of Cups. All right, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This week, the most important thing for you to do, first and foremost, is if there's any emotional energy that you need to process that energy. Because until you've grieved, until you've let go, until you've somehow kind of made peace with something, it kind of inhibits your ability to see what's around you. So we have the two different ravens here. So we have one that is looking at the past. We have one that's looking at the future. The only way to get into that future state is really to make peace with the past. Easier said than done, right? It takes time to really kind of like learn all the lessons. Sometimes we need to talk to someone. We might need advice, like how do I solve this? Why is this happening? Maybe you tuned in today for all of that. Now, I will pull the traditional one while we're talking. The one thing that I like to remind folks is there's usually support. There's always two cups hidden in the card, usually in the background. And so what I would say today that you can do across this next week is to give yourself permission to be happy. If something difficult has happened, like the loss of a loved one or the loss of a job or whatever, don't blame yourself. Don't feel like your happiness somehow is not deserved. It's okay to still process loss and then also allow yourself to walk towards the path of joy. So here we go. I think in this one we have to look at the traditional one because it's so vivid. So this is what didn't work out. But on this side, we have the two cups upright, and in the background we have this bridge. So there are ways to get through this. It might be difficult, it may be intense, but there is support, there is something good right on the horizon there, and so it's just about shifting perspective, and that's the main advice, but it helps to see the two graphics. And some of you are somewhere between these two states here, between grieving and allowing yourself to move forward. Allow yourself to move forward. Also, you may just be missing a blessing. Both the Four and the Five of Cups have either one or two cups that are hidden or not apparent, so things are better than they seem. Look around, tune in, talk to someone, get perspective, okay? That's the main message for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Moving from fire to earth, we have the moon card coming through, and it's interesting the way that they illustrated this because it's almost like something that it feels like you might have acted hastily, maybe bitten off more than you can chew because of the way that this bird is trying to consume the moon. Sometimes we don't know what we're getting into until it's already started. So whether it's a purchase of an item, a job, or a relationship, really there's only so much that you can tell from the surface. And once you dig beneath the surface, you start to see the layers and the levels. This is a chance to really decide if you want to stick it out and stick around. That's what I'm getting with this particular illustration. Face your fears, ask the tough questions, do the inner shadow and soul work to heal yourself. There's a continual healing message over these first 6 signs that we're looking at, so a little bit of that as well. But the moon is also a powerful card, and it's showing you that if you want to go for it, much like the star, there's a lot to be gained once you face your fears and once you go for it, okay? Beautiful energy on this, and very nocturnal energy too, so just like I pay close attention to dreams, listen to your dreams and your daydreams. What's coming through when you're not focusing, when you're not concentrating, because ironically and interestingly enough, that disconnection actually helps you connect to spirit a little bit more, okay? So facing fears, figuring out if you want to stay or go, and never underestimating your power. That's the takeaway for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, moving on from Earth to air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, we just talked about the Five of Cups, now we have the Four of Cups. And Four of Cups typically just has a hidden cup floating in the air, and usually the person is looking at the other cups in front of them. What I'm getting with this one is possibly, this could be people around you like gossiping or planting a little seed in your head, and then you were feeling great, and then someone just said something, and now you're not feeling great. Don't let that person burst your balloon or take away your shine, okay? This is that person like, well, I was happy. What does that person mean? Don't let it be. Just take that ace and be happy with it. This is also showing you that there might be something even better, right on the precipice. Just like Four of Pentacles can be limiting, the Four of Cups can be limiting because you're only focusing on what's in front of you. This one shows that there's a reflection, there's more there. Don't be afraid to look, and don't be afraid to look deeper, okay? Beautiful energy. I am enjoying the birds being in the spread today. They definitely bring a different flavor. One last thing here I would say is birds of a feather flock together. So if you need to sort of amp up your energy, surround yourself with people that have positivity. If there's anyone that is negative, you just don't have time for that right now. All right? That's the last message. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. It's a good week for partnership, Six of Cups. And Six of Cups also has usually children in the illustration. So being able to connect with childlike, playful, sort of like not so serious energy could actually help you be more productive, be happier, and really kind of just get a lot done. But it's a great week for any level of partnership between friends and family, particularly children in your life, but also love and colleagues, because there's just this, if you've ever worked in a job where the people are great, it makes all the other stuff manageable. And so I'm getting that here too. If you can really vibe with the company in which you're keeping, then everything else is going to feel great. So there you go. Beautiful cards, beautiful energy. That was also a gift. I'm just gonna, like I said, save it all till later and put one all-encompassing graphic or thank you page or thank you video together, because couldn't have done this without you guys. So thank you so much for allowing me to rebuild so quickly. There you go. Let's go ahead now and move on to the special topic for today. And as I said, it's like ends and beginnings. And I think this is beautifully timed because we are right on the precipice of retrograde being over. I think there's some really interesting planetary convergences that are happening on Monday. There's something like 4 planets that are going to be visible on the horizon. So I feel like things are coming together. So in order for us to really embrace with what's coming together, we have to see what we need to let go of. So I think that was also the inspiration to kind of bring it on this level. By the way, if you enjoy what you're seeing here, do me a favor, like and subscribe. It's 100% free. It helps me so much, and I appreciate it. You can also choose to give back and participate with super stickers, super chat, and memberships, and I'll say thanks at the end. All right, let me turn the camera down and get another deck for this portion. Let's see. I actually think I might do Mystical Visions because we haven't read with that in a minute. But I also have Tarot of the Divine. Let's let the deck decide. That's something I haven't done in a minute. So. All right, so we'll see which one wants to be the main deck for today. Okay, we got the Two of Cups. And we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant wins. Okay. Okay, let's get started. Hierophant in reverse for the center of this spread. Close your eyes for a moment. Let go of any preconceived notions, anything that might be clouding your mind, your vision, or your energy. Breathe, exhale, let go. Let's welcome in guides, angels, and masters, spirit masters, and also, of course, the crows to see what kind of messages around ends and beginnings are in front of us. Wow, major cards, major arcana. Okay. let's get everything set up here. Let me turn on my air conditioning too, because it got hot all of a sudden. And let's commence here. Okay, so we're going to get started here with your catalyst energy. We have Hathor coming through contentment. And look at the lovely Empress energy she's bringing forth. Many of you may be working on something that brings a lot of joy, a lot of peace. Continue doing that, but it does look like there could be either perfectionist vibes, or for some of you, you're just worried about, like, can I let this go? Can I create this? Can I go down this path? So if it is what you love, if it's what brings you happiness, that is the deciding factor here. That should be the only thing that is coloring your decision. And like I said earlier, it's okay to be happy, even if you're right on the sort of heels of some sort of recovery or not so good news. You never are undeserving of joy or happiness in your life. Again, that's part of the soul experience. You're supposed to be happy. You don't have to suffer. There are different teachers. Pain is a teacher, but so is joy. So let's welcome in joy as a teacher in this moment in time. I haven't watched the new one, but I remember the old Inside Out, or whatever it was, the Disney movie where there were all the different emotions. You have to have the whole gamut, but you shouldn't sacrifice one for the other. Together, they make stronger core memories. I remember that from the original. So it's better when it's blended. So you can be both. You can be both sad about one thing and happy about another, because we're humans and we're able to process complex emotions. So don't deny yourself happiness. That's the big message, the first message that's coming through. Okay, now let's take a look at everything in front of us here. So appropriately so, we have the Death card here in the recent past. So we'll look at what it's touching to see what we need to release. We have also another card of release here in the outcome, so it's kind of bookended with death and release cards, but we have money, progress, opportunity kind of in the middle, so that's what's coming in. Let's start with your center card, the Hierophant, which had a cute little owl in the corner. I did see that. The card is reversed, but let's look at it in the upright position. Actually, the owl is gigantic on this. It's not a little owl. The person's little. So this is almost like your higher self coming through and saying, have you learned this lesson yet? And when the card is reversed, there's resistance to teaching. The Hierophant is very much like, like rote learning, like mathematician, like going through all of the different, 2 times 2 is this, all that stuff. So in life, it's not so easy to have rote learning, and the soul sometimes resists a lesson. So what I'm getting here is that something is coming through is very clear, but there's still some inner resistance to why you're holding on to it. We have the Queen of Cups crossing this, so it could be a lesson in love. And some of you are holding on to someone longer than you need to, or something longer than you need to. Ultimately, though, this is a card of learning too, so that you can, if you need to listen to someone that has great insights, or talk to someone, or read, a book, or listen to a podcast, opening up your sort of like your mind, your world view, all of this will be very helpful and advantageous in this moment in time. Athena energy coming through loud and clear, since that's her sort of animal companion, her familiar. So also, like, you have what it takes to fight for what you need. And this can be fighting the system, fighting the pre-existing hierarchy that exists, whether it's government or the establishment or society, or biases. All of these things can be part of the Hierophant as well, because they're structurally programmed. Crossing this card is love, passion, creativity, sensitivity, and love. I think I said love twice, but it's okay. So that can also be the cosmic message here too. Love yourself, be open to receive love. Know that sometimes releasing someone is also a form of unconditional love, because we see her holding on to that, why can't I think of what it's called? She's holding on to the fish there. Seahorse, thank you. So interestingly enough, a seahorse is divine masculine and feminine together, because the male will take the fertilized eggs and actually carry them and birth them. So what we're also seeing is the blurring of the lines between divine masculine and feminine, so that we don't have to uphold the traditional roles. So you can do something that people in the past may have sort of like judged you for. Who cares? If your career choice, if the person that you love, if the thing that you do and brings you the most joy and contentment confounds the establishment, so be it. That's called progress, isn't it? So continue to progress and continue to embrace whatever it is that makes you happy, folks, okay? And yes, this is Venus de Milo, thanks. So this is a great time for love. With a capital L, unconditional love, love in the highest forms, loving yourself, loving others, and forgiving. All of those things are part of that. Deep past, 10 of Cups. You are worthy. You are worthy, but are you ready to receive the love? That's what the crows are bringing through in all of these beautiful cards. I love how the traditional, like normally you would have a couple of dogs, you would have children, you would have other people, but now we have like this school of fish, and we have like two mer people, merman, merwoman. And this is showing you, again, unusual connections, and the way that you might find love in partnership, it is not what is expected. Either that means for some of you that the person comes from a different background or just isn't the normal connection, but obviously something's working because there's a spark, or that family, I talked about home being not necessarily a place. Family isn't necessarily a group connected through blood. Family is something that you can define for yourself. So it could be the people that you went to school with. It could be the people that you live next to. It can be the friends that you hang out with. But we do see a new familial connection, a new love connection, a new friendship coming through in this period of time, but it requires the ability to release. So here's the old. The old is the Hierophant. You got to let go of whatever the expectation was. Embrace whatever the reality is, and know that that could bring a lot of contentment. So there you go. That's the first message. Death is touching a lot of things here on the side. So the Hermit is saying, because death comes right before it, it's saying that it might be time to stop that sort of hermiting energy. It's good to do a little bit of this, but not too much. So knowing when to come out of your shell. We see, a traditional and then a lot of non-traditional illustrations here for love and happiness. And so letting go of this feeling like you have to be alone, or no one's going to understand you, or that there's only one way to get something done. Really opening your mind up, and then new people, new opportunities come knocking. Because I did pull, 5 of Cups earlier, and we also see 4 of Swords, and we have Death. Some of you may have just lost someone or something. And this card is basically encouraging you to see the bigger purpose for why this might have entered or exited your life in this moment in time. We also see that this is a transformational moment, so that you're always on that energy. Like, I see death as a revolving door. So it doesn't just shut, like you walk through it and you go to another place, or you can come back if you want to re-experience something. So ends and beginnings. So it's nicely connected today, and it's saying, yes, something ended, but something else is about to come around the corner. We'll talk about that. Okay, in the crowning position, we have the Hermit, and the Hermit is spiritual growth too. So I mentioned in dreams and meditation, I saw this almost extraterrestrial or non-human audience. To me, that represents your spirit guides, your connection to the divine, your ability to see beyond. All of this. So this is just like my face, my hair, my eyes, my skin. It's almost like an outfit that we have to wear through this existence, but it's not truly all that I am. It's one facet of my soul. And so we're starting to look beyond the exterior. And that's going to help you make smarter choices in jobs, in relationships, and in opportunities overall. Go deeper, dig deeper, go beneath. The Hermit does look within, and it finds the light within. And that's why the Hermit is represented here as the lighthouse. This is going to be the source of other people's inspiration. So you're secretly and finally maybe understanding that you are the star in addition to all of this, and that's why some of you got the star energy for this week, okay? So you are ancient, you are timeless, you are ageless. This is one little point on a large continuum. And when you start to let go of fixating on it, and I think this is also true with how we view aging in this particular time. There were other societies, unfortunately, many of them supplanted by other groups that came in, but like when you look at the original inhabitants of North America, they really they engaged and respected age and wisdom. And now we're in a point where we look at the age and wisdom and we're trying to go backwards and Benjamin Button it. It doesn't work that way, right? Like age, I recently had an experience with someone where I was talking about my age and they were like, well, congratulations. And instead of happy birthday, my birthday's in a few months, but it was sort of more like, it was just sort of like, it's such an honor that you're able to achieve that age or that, rather than saying, you know, oh my gosh, or whatever. I think that's a better reaction, is like, wow, how did you get this far? Let me know, let me see what I can learn from you. So if you meet someone who's in their 80s or 90s or something, rather than judging their age, judge their wisdom. And that's really what we're getting here, because if you can, how did they make it? What have they learned? What mistakes did they make that I can maybe avoid? What great things have they done that maybe I can learn from? All of that can help. So this is a great time to lean on teachers and to look at age as a gift. On some levels, it's not fun to have, you know, aches and pains and things like that, but the wisdom part, definitely embrace with that, because we got the owl at the center. Okay. Looking at the Wheel of Fortune in the near future, this is what's coming in. And the Wheel of Fortune works in its own time and in its own way. So we have all these little cogs and wheels working together. At the top, we have her holding a pocket watch, and then we see her heart. So time is a construct. We can just kind of hold it to the side. The heart is the one thing that can speed up all the gears. So if you're really happy, if you're really engaged, if you're really passionate, some really cool things start to come through. And the message here is, it's not, like I said in a daily this past week, to help manifest something, don't think, can it happen? Think, when will it happen? And then really just think, it will happen. We're less fixated on the if or even the when, just understanding it's happening. And then allowing yourself to be truly present and a part of that manifestation. And that's enough. It's enough to know it's happening. The time element doesn't matter, because it is subjective to the speed with which you're moving. Like if you were in space moving faster, your clock would move differently. If you were right on the event horizon of a black hole, your time would be moving differently. It really is not a constant in the universe. So let's stop thinking about it as something that has to be in a certain time or in a certain way. It's more important to look at all of these cogs and gears and just keep moving one step at a time. Pretty soon, as you start to get more energy, more momentum, you will surprise even yourself at the speed with which things are happening. You'll get like that 8 of Wands moment where you're just in flight, okay? So just keep moving the gears, keep moving yourself, keep embracing the heart, and don't worry, let go of time. That's the main message on this Wheel of Fortune. Very unusual, but that's what I'm seeing here, is a paradigm shift between the two. But yes, new money and new business opportunities are coming through, which is good for those of you that might have just lost money, lost a job, spent a lot, or dealt with a health challenge, and now you're like, I gotta make up for all of this. We do see some things coming through. We're looking at a week, but I really feel like we're looking at post-retrograde here, and so this could carry you on almost like one of my monthlies, because this is the reset after retrograde. So that's what I'm vibing with as we're starting to read this. Also, you chose a deep topic, so ends and beginnings, they don't just take place in 7 days. They go beyond that. Here's how you're showing up. Worthy. Again, one of the maximum cards. You got the 2 biggest cards that we could get for worth. We have King of Pentacles showing up for you, and we have in the near future the Wheel of Fortune. You are worthy, but are you ready? If you're ready and worthy, then good stuff is about to come in. Elevate your thoughts, particularly when it comes to possibilities. So we see this person on top of their finances, with their finances on the top of their sort of thinking process. Also not being afraid to get some balance in things and to take the lead here. Tuning in as well. Whenever we see antlers or antenna, it's about picking up on intuition and higher messages and connecting with all of those. Okay, great time for you also to have that sort of the green thumb. I look at the King of Pentacles as being able to repair, to sort of nurture things, because he's got that paternal energy. Okay, looking at the environment, the moon coming through yet again. It came through, I think, in the elemental forecast. Here it is again. The moon in the reverse state. Not being afraid. That's really the thing here. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to look. Really leaning into honesty and integrity is the most important thing right now. I think that if there's anything that in the past, maybe you were just told you can't, like, it's not proper to talk about that or to do that or whatever, I feel like you're breaking through those boundaries too. Especially, by the way, when it comes to money. For whatever reason, some families don't talk about money. Also, some, even corporate cultures, they try to keep that under the surface, and in part because it continues to allow for things like ageism, sexism, and even racism on some levels too, because when we start to talk about the differences in our wages and we see that, hey, I'm doing the same thing, why does this person, and I've been here the same amount of time, there's no reason there should be a difference here. So this is how we start to liberate ourselves, to have conversations around things like worth. And then you can break through some of the Hierophant can be that ingrained, any of the isms that shouldn't be there anymore. And the only way that that kind of gets chipped away and comes to pass is by people speaking up and saying, I know this is an uncomfortable, but it's a necessary conversation, so let's have it. So some of you may be in a group where it's old fashioned and it needs to kind of align. So the question here for some of you is, do you want to be the agent of change? You can if you want to be, but it is a little bit of a fight. So there's no right or wrong on that. It's more, where's your heart? So if you want to change it for yourself and for future generations, great. If you just want to move on to something else and spend your time and energy differently, also okay. No judgment. It's a choice on what your planetary goal is. Is it personal development, or is it healing groups and other people? There's no right or wrong here, but what makes you feel better, you get to decide. Any good reader is not going to tell you what to do. I think they're equally as positive. Okay. Looking at hopes, fears, and opportunities, ask. We're talking about money. This is also resources and give and take. So in a relationship, if the partner consistently isn't showing up, or if you're consistently on the outside looking in any group, like even a friend group, you can just speak up and say, hey, what's going on here? This isn't working. Or this is what I need, or somehow articulating it in a way that doesn't sound so direct. I'm doing a reading and trying to get through it, so you know what I'm saying. Use your own words on that. But articulating what's missing and seeing if the other party is ready to show up. And if they aren't, you can move in a different direction if you need to. So advocate for your worth, see if the person's receptive. If they aren't, move on to greener pastures rather, because you have the Wheel of Fortune coming through today, which is a really powerful card. So I feel like you can make change happen and open up new opportunities. If you were stuck, and I know many of you felt stuck throughout this retrograde, I do not see it post-retrograde. This wasn't meant to be a post-retrograde specific reading, but it's kind of getting there. So yay, because I think we're all sick of it. And usually I don't care, but it was an intense period. So that's what I'm picking up on here. One of the key ways that you can be happier in this moment in time is rest. We have Four of Swords here. It's in the reverse state. I think many of you may be currently experiencing restlessness, sleeplessness, or you may have worked to a point of exhaustion and there's now diminishing returns. And so what's really important now is to take a moment or two to tune in, to allow for yourself to just kind of like be happy. And again, there's no rush. Sometimes we have to just kind of keep moving at a rapid clip, and I get it. But make sure that there is a cap to how long you're doing that, like a limit, because the body can only do it for so often or for so long. All right, let's go ahead now and briefly take a look at the expanded forecast, because that actually was a more in-depth read than I normally would do just on that. So we'll go a little bit briefer and higher level on this and see how it all feels. Okay, we're going to start off first with your health card. 2 came through. So mind, body, spirit. The first one we have here is falling. This could be falling in love, right? This could also be the feeling that you're free falling and trying to get your feet on solid ground. Also, for those of you that might be experiencing some challenges or issues with like vertigo or balance, this is a reason that you'd want to go to the doctor to avoid a tower moment, okay? And then we see a card of grace, divine grace, her grace, or divine feminine energy coming through, and it's about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, and being able to move forward in a situation with that sense of grace and dignity. All right, let's briefly look at all of the cards here for health. Let me take a quick drink and then we'll move forward. Okay. Some of you had a close call, a brush with death or a health challenge, a wake-up call where either you or your doctor was like, you've got to rethink this. So this is a chance for you to be smarter about how you're living and to take better care of your health. One of the things that continues to come through as a challenge and an area of improvement, again, is quality and quantity of sleep and your pacing, how quickly you're kind of trying to get everything done. This is a little too much. So really kind of pulling back a little bit and being more present. For some of you, you're getting second and third opinions. That's what the Hermit and the Hierophant can be, making sure that you're educated going into any major situation. In general, we actually see just relationships creating some new stress. It isn't necessarily always bad stress, but we just see like it can be overwhelming. It can be a lot to process with the Ten of Cups, with the Queen of Cups. The Moon in reverse can show for some of you, there could be issues with hydration. It's also the urinary tract and the reproductive tract. So if there's anything that's out of normal in that area, obviously work with the appropriate doctor there. But I think part of this can also just be emotions, because we have the heightened sensitivity here. And if you're around someone who just isn't tuning in, that's the big message here, is to find someone who's receptive, okay? Overall, pretty good. Most of these cards are very good, and we can see that if you learn from this lesson, you can put into action something that's going to bring you into a better trajectory, but it is about really embracing the wake-up call. I just recently did a reading for, was it Leo? Yeah, and I was talking about activation. So this is less activation and it's more like awareness, but really being aware of who you are and where you're at. Just a little bit of the Leo reading there, but more about awareness. And then for the Leos out there, also then activating. All of this energy is coming through. All right, let's move on now from health to wealth. Your resources, your life purpose, and your career. Couldn't be more appropriate for today. Every day is a reset. Let go of the past and just breathe in your new incarnation. So be reborn daily. Every morning when the sun rises and your eyes open, it's a chance to do better. That's it. Do better than the previous day. There is no winning or losing, but if you're trying to be better and do better and approach things with a more clarity than the day prior, you're exactly where you need to be. And trying to put out of mind something that felt really heavy yesterday and just thinking, it's a new day. Let me just see what it brings. Let's see what happens when I step out of the door. Let's see what happens when I get into the car. Let's see what happens when I get to work or when I open my emails. Let's not put any prejudgment to it, and let's take it one step, one breath, one email, one conversation at a time. Everything is a chance for rebirth. Everything. Unfortunately, and I feel it just as much as the rest of you, sometimes there's one event in the day that colors everything else. So take a moment if you have that. We're looking at wealth. So take a moment, especially if it's work. Go grab a coffee. Go take a walk. I used to meditate. Because I had a lunch break. So I had the capacity to at least give myself 30 minutes. I wouldn't always take the full hour, but I would take the first 30 minutes and go somewhere, and I would sit down outside for a couple minutes and just breathe. I would find a tree or a bench or something several blocks from where I work, and I would just sit down and I'm like, okay, I need to let go of all this stuff. And I would just sit there and meditate for a couple minutes, and it helped. It really did help. Just sighing like I did. Sometimes if the only place of sanctity is like the restroom, the toilet, public toilet, go to the bathroom, close the door, take a couple deep breaths, clear your head, give yourself 5 minutes, even if that's all you're doing there, and just think, I've got to get clear right now. This is not worth it. I'm not going to have that conversation. I'm not going to feel triggered. let it go. So there is always a way to find meditation, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. And in a work day, it can make the difference. It definitely helped me keep my calm when I was working traditional corporate jobs, which I did for about 15 years. So I definitely remember that energy of, it's gotten weirder. That's the best word, and crazier now with with Zoom and technology, because now you can almost never get away from conversations and energy. Your phone's constantly beeping and things it wasn't as bad, a decade ago. It was there, but it wasn't as prevalent. Now it's a lot worse. So my heart goes out to all of you that can't seem to escape like Slack or any of these new ways of being connected. You can take 5 minutes. They can wait 5. That's my message on that. Okay. Briefly looking at those that are working, those that are seeking employment, and those that are retired or students. If you're working, you got to change it up. That's the main thing. Death is on in the recent past. And when you change, positive results. Follow your heart. Don't follow convention. Follow instincts and be creative. Do your research, of course, but change is necessary. Big takeaway. Other takeaway here, power of teamwork is so important here with the 10 of Cups. Lean on that good, sort of like the good investment that you've made in creating, partnerships and teams. Don't be afraid to be the voice of reason. Speak up if there's a lack. Rest and pace yourself. That's everything for those that are working. Entrepreneurs, same general message here about changing up the routine, and that is going to bring in new financial opportunities. Changing possibly the target, who you're trying to, like who the audience is. We're actually seeing like a divine feminine energy coming through here, and even the way that you're speaking to male energy, being a little bit more open-minded. Let's let go of like the old tradition. Like certain products can be unisex, for instance, if you have your own brand. So taking out gender-based advertisements and making it more like need-based. Are you going through this? You could take advantage of this product or service, not focusing on the gender. That's what I'm getting on that. So that's a message for entrepreneurs. If you're looking for work, keep fishing. We have the the hermit, fishing and finding what she needs. It may take a few tries. I think that you're really advocating for something that rewards you on a financial level where maybe the past jobs didn't. It may take up to a month, the moon card. So the moon is reversed, give it 1 lunar cycle. Really focus on helping people understand why you're worth it. I'm not really worried, can you find it? It feels like, yes, it could take up to 4 weeks. Not what you necessarily want to hear, but that's what I see. But the important thing here is to focus on the presentation, whether it's like a portfolio or your resume or how you're putting it into a system, because sometimes that's what you have to do nowadays. But once you finally get to the phone call, the Zoom, or the face-to-face, really making sure that you know why you're worth it, and how you're going to convey worth, because that's going to help you land the position. There you go. For those of you that are retired, restlessness is what I'm picking up on. And by the way, this restless vibe is across everybody, but particularly for those that might be retired. So now is a chance, like you don't need to, we still need things to make us feel connected. So finding something new that's going to make you feel a part of something bigger. When I look at this Wheel of Fortune, all those cogs, it's like, how do I fit? It could be volunteer work, it could be teaching, it could be mentorship, you could decide to go back to school, whatever it is that you want to do, finding your new connection and making it up, because you can, because you're the boss now. Students, I actually love that the Hierophant is at the center. The only thing with this is that there may be a program that is too traditional. So if you're still at the point where you can choose, make sure that you're finding one that is open and modern enough to kind of work with your maybe more creative approach towards something. I think that being mindful of finances is super important, especially in the week ahead, not overspending. There may also be hidden opportunities for financial aid, because we see 2 really good cards and one that shows that you have to ask or you have to apply. So don't be afraid to apply. Don't think that you're not eligible before trying, because you may be the only one that applies, and that's why you're going to get it. Okay? Moving on to love. We have the Swan. Reflective energy here in the Swan as well. So twinning sort of energy. This could be, I don't really use twin flames, but this could definitely be twin stars, someone from a past incarnation, karmic energy coming through. And when we look at the karma of all relationships right now, actually it's just allowing yourself to be loved and love in a different way, love a different kind of person. It's and seeing yourself as equals. That's what I'm also seeing across all relationships, because this is definitely a card of reflective energy and equal energy. For those currently in a relationship, let's see what your biggest challenge is. I think just being honest and talking about true hopes and fears. It's in the environment. Also dealing with someone tricky. This could be a neighbor, a family member, whomever it might be. Making sure that you don't let that person create unnecessary ripples in an otherwise pretty stable relationship. Definitely I get the past life vibe here with the death card, but also some of you may have just been through either a close brush, like someone in your family had a difficult bout with health but came through it, or someone transitioned, and it's about dealing with that stress together and supporting one another. Also, the people that we are initially, we change over time. And so seeing the changed partner, but still kind of seeing the person that you love and finding a way to kind of like hopefully embrace the changes within yourself and within your partner. Money, it seems like money is always a tripping point, but there might be one big expense. One partner wants to slow that down a little bit and just kind of like weigh out all the options. So do some research. Wait for some sales if you can. Feels like money might be coming through. And then I also get pregnancy. And it could be either the desire to get pregnant or pregnancy coming sooner than expected, and just dealing with the opportunities and the stress that's always a part of a blessing like that. So I get it. It's always something to consider there. Okay. Now let's change focus from those in a relationship to those looking for love. Can you find it? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We have the Queen of Cups right here in the center. We have past life energy. We have, for some of you, unrequited love or something that didn't work out before, this feeling of being alone, possibly giving up, and then focusing a little bit more on something else, and then it comes through. So could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. We have two really watery kind of energies coming through, so yes. But also there could be an earth sign, or this person's really just keen on being in a stable relationship. They want to, almost from like date number one, this could be love at first sight on one or both sides. And they're like trying to keep it a secret, but they're bad at it. So they're showing their cards too soon, or you might be showing your cards too soon. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Think about, it's nice to know that someone likes you when you're on a date. It's nice to know in a relationship that someone likes you too. So don't be afraid to just let someone know, hey, this was a great date. This was a good time. I don't believe in games anymore. I think you don't want to go overboard. You want to overshare. But if you had a great time, you don't have to wait 3 days to text. All that stuff is nonsense. Just say, I had a great time. Let's do coffee this week or something. It takes the weight off of things. So yeah, you can find someone if you're available. That's the thing. The Hermit is someone who might be so focused on a task with the Wheel of Fortune and with not enough sleep that they could miss this. So take some time, have some fun. That's the block. You're the block this week, possibly because of all the stuff going on. Okay. Looking at, let's see, we looked at those in relation. Oh, of course, happily single. If you are happily single, good for you. A lot of productive energy, productivity is what I was trying to say, is coming through with Wheel of Fortune. You can really make a lot happen. You might be, I'm looking at all those different cogs, spinning a lot of different wheels of fortune at once. And also spinning things into a really positive light too. So taking lemons and making lemonade and really making things work. I think this is a great time for personal development, financial development, and growth. And that's what I see with that. Do take time to really address any sort of emotional stress that you might be going through. Also take time to make sure that you are present and slowing down long enough to enjoy. Okay, let's look at destiny. I love this. It's kind of a nice piggyback of what I was just saying here. Healing energy flows through you. Take time to heal yourself. This is like, we could connect this to High Priestess too, but you can work through any sort of challenge that might be in front of you. Look at the little owl again. It's a different deck, but we have the owl coming through again. Let's talk about owls for a second. Birds are everything today, apparently. So owls, of course, are nocturnal. A lot of energy around nighttime, a lot of energy around restlessness and sleeplessness. If you find yourself awake and thinking, I can't go to bed, it might be a good time to listen to a podcast, to learn something, to kind of like, all right, let's use it. The muse is striking right now. Let's use that energy and figure something out. Maybe I can research something. Usually research will put me to sleep if I need to do that. But owls keep very open eyes and ears on what's going on, so they can see things that others can't. You may be seeing something in your body or in your life that needs to be addressed sooner than someone else. Trust in that intuition and trust in that insight. Let's take a moment now to tune into the big idea. We're going to do a two-part on this one because I want to look at what's ending and what's beginning as the two big ideas, plural. Okay, so let's give things a shuffle here. And let me put this card over here. All right, so what's ending? What's beginning? Okay. The struggle to be right, the struggle to win is what's ending. So the Strength card shows that you can usually get what you want, but sometimes the expense isn't worth it. The expenditure of time and energy to get someone to see or agree or understand what it is that you're trying to say can sometimes just be cause fatigue or an exhausting sort of thing. The other thing that's ending is the role playing again, and I think it is sort of like at a certain age or in a certain gender or at a certain point, you're expected to do this, this, and this. Throw that out. You can do what you need to do when you want to do it. Focusing a little bit more on your health is paramount right now. So we're looking at ending. Also, like sacrificing health and well-being, that needs to end. So focus on your physical strength. Focus on not having to fight so hard with someone. Focus on not trying to please everyone or to do something that's expected of you. All of these things are coming through. What's starting? Slow and steady recovery. I just talked about this card in the Leo reading a little bit. If we look at it this way, it's almost like a dormant tree. So this was the activation card. So for many of you, you are starting to look beyond something that didn't work out in the past, and you're seeing as what it was. Just one thing, one moment in time. You're more than the rejection of one person, more than their inability to see you. I don't need to pull that card up. I'm just going to talk about what we see here. So typically you would see two people on the outside, not quite able to go in the shelter that's behind them, not able to connect with each other. So now you're starting to realize, I am the source, I can heal myself, because we just got this, and I am ready and worthy to receive. And I'm going to activate all the things that I want to do. I am the source. So you're seeing yourself as the source energy. Let's take a couple moments and meditate. Before we do that, one last quick reminder. This is easy, it's free, it helps. If you're brand new and you're like, I like this guy, I want to come back, subscribe and you'll be reminded in the future of when I post new stuff. All longtime viewers, if you hit the thumbs up once, it helps other people find this. Thank you in advance. All right, let's meditate. This is going to be a chance for us to just really embrace ends and beginnings. So I'm going to use the reflective energy of like a pond. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. So close your eyes, please. We're going to take 2 minutes to meditate, and then we'll look at a final question. Do what I just did. Sigh. Let it all out. However big a sigh you need to take, go ahead and do it. If you're still feeling some stress, breathe in even deeper. Who's watching? Who cares? Nice deep inhale, nice deep exhale. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself looking at a crystal clear pond in front of you. You might see a couple of fish kind of, swimming around, but the water is crystal clear, and it almost has it looks to me like aquamarine water. So as you're looking into this pool of radiant aquamarine, blue-green water, I want you to see imagine, if you will, that this is almost like a crystal ball. The first thing that it shows you is you. And we don't always take a moment to look not just at our physical reflection, but at our soul. So it's revealing all that you have worked to become. And so in this moment, you can see what it was all about, what the relationship was about, what the job was about, what that last challenge that you just experienced was about. And you can just sigh and let it go. And I want you to reach out and touch the hand, the reflective hand of you, and know that you're connected. You're connected to Source, and you're more supported than you think. Imagine if you could, that you could reach in and that hand actually is real. It's not just a reflection, and you pull your mirror image out. Now this version of yourself is showing you potential, future opportunities, all the light, the resplendence, and the brilliance that you carry with you every day but forget. And now imagine, if you would, that this loving being of light reaches its hands around you and melts its heart space into yours, and then completely melts into you. And you feel this unconditional love, this lightness of being that you haven't in a long, long time. And now you feel the ability to just approach today, tomorrow, and the weeks ahead with this new sense of worth. I am worthy. I am ready. I am willing. I am. And we're not looking at the past. The gaze to the past it's no longer necessary. You've learned the lessons. You're focusing on present and future. If you have a sort of silent intention or a dream or a wish that you want to make, go ahead and speak it now to your highest self and to the angels, spirit guides, ascended masters that are here. And when you're ready on the next natural exhale, I'd like you to open your eyes and focus on the last question that we'll be looking at today, whatever you have that I haven't yet looked at. So go ahead and ask that question. Let's shuffle the cards. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Well, that's a good card. We have the Ace of Cups coming through. This is a yes. And not only that, but it's yes, but also just embrace all of this and then some. We see this like flock of moths or butterflies coming out of that Ace of Cups. And I also love that she's right over the water that we were just talking about, right? You can change. You can spread your wings. You can do this. You may be at any one of the stages of chrysalis or cocooning. So you may be in the area where you're kind of taking things in, like the caterpillar. You may be in the protective chrysalis or cocoon, or you may be spreading your wings. Wherever you are, you're exactly where you need to be. And wherever you need to go, you're absolutely capable of doing it. It's a yes to a yes or no. It indicates love and opportunity can be coming through, but it's different because of the moths or butterflies. These look to me more like moths. So it's different. The main thing here with the cocooning energy, it's very connected to the hermit and it's very nocturnal. So one of the things we're seeing here is to get out of the old habits, to get out more, to engage with others. That's where the magic starts to happen. All right, this was super magical. And finally, all of the technology working. Again, thanks for your patience. Like 3 weeks ago when nothing was working except my laptop, I just kind of laughed. You have to kind of go with it. And each week, each day, things get better. And that's how I've been approaching my sort of settling in here. So thanks for that. All right, let's take a couple moments here. If you'd like to join me on social media, quick reminder, it's always my first and last name, no extra letters or different spellings. You can find all of this on my YouTube channel page, also on my website. Be mindful of people that pretend to be me, but obviously are not. They will use direct messages and comments to try to solicit business. Like, hey, I like you. Click on this link. Don't do that. Hey, I've opened up readings. Message me. Don't do that. Always know that the only way you're going to connect is in real time right here. And we do this at least once a week, sometimes a couple of extra times per month because I'm starting to do more things with members. So make it to a live stream. Talk to me here. Don't do the direct messages. That's not me. Okay. Let's take a look now at everybody who gave back a little bit. By the way, if you'd like to, I can still say thanks in real time. You can do it through super stickers, super chat memberships. I want to just say thanks to everybody because not everyone can do that. I just am happy that you're here and happy that you're working on this and happy that you show up. This community here makes it all worthwhile, and I have a blast every single Sunday, and I always leave feeling better, and I can't think of many things in my life that are like that, so thank you. I appreciate the community that we've built here, and I'm happy to show up. All right, so let's take a look at newest members, whether you were gifted or you rejoined. Okay, so the newest members first. Let's take a look. We have a lot today. Wow. Okay. Thanks to there must have been some gifting. I saw a little bit of it out of the corner of my eye, so thank you to all those that gifted. I'm trying to go to the bottom, and I'm just going to say first names. Apologies for any mispronunciations. All right. Crystal, E, and I think it's Jimenez. I'm like, just E. Vivian, 5 stars. Terry, The Film Maven. Lady V, KV. A little more, please. Monica, Lightning, Miss Elaine, David, Vicky. Let's see. ATL, Kim Priestess, Rolio, I think, Claudia, Joyful, Tymoon, ZZ, and CDEC. I hope I said those right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Taking a moment here also to give gratitude to those who gave back in the form of gifted memberships. Let's look at that real quick too. All right, so those who were able to gift and also celebrated anniversaries. I'll do it all at once. Okay, so ATL, welcome as a new member. It's, again, good to have you here. Let's see. Colette, you gifted 5. Thank you so much. Thanks for helping grow this community. Lucy for gifting 1. Jeannie, gifting 10. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Wendy, you gifted 1. Thank you. Let's see. Jill, you have been here exactly 2 years as a member. Longer, I know, than that. But thank you so much for that membership. Let's see. Lisa, thank you for gifting a membership. Marjorie, 35 months. Way to go. That is a long time, and I appreciate it. And I think that's all of the anniversaries and the gifted memberships. All right, let me take a moment here to celebrate those who gave in the way of super sticker or super chat. And let's see what we've got here. Okay. We have a decent amount today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so Eurydice, I think it is. Thank you very much. Yoga Rising, Raven, Crystal, Lucy, PJ2457, Color Me Happy, Jackie or JC, Jackie, I think it is, Rafaela, JPet71, and Mobot Industries. Thanks, guys. And a special thank you to all of those who helped me replenish my decks here. I would not be able to do it without you. So again, I'll have a proper way to say thanks in the coming weeks here, but in the meantime, just know I appreciate it, and it's so fun to read with some new stuff as well. Let me see if I missed anybody here. I probably did. Patrice, thank you very much. I think we got everybody else. Okay, and if not, I know Dakota caught it, and I always see it on the replay. So we are almost through all of the monthly readings. Coming up this week will be the last 4, aka the first 4 of the zodiac. So we'll be doing Aries, Taurus, Gemini, I think Cancer, all coming through this week. Keep an eye on the main channel page for that. And then everything will be done by the 31st. And then we'll be back into a normal sort of production flow next month, and we'll reverse the zodiac so that everybody gets their chance at the beginning. And check out my daily and weekly video, or daily and monthly videos as well. If you haven't already, they're on the main channel page. I see Lisa also joined as a channel member, so thank you very much. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you to Dakota for your help with all of the moderation. Let's bring up Apollo. He's ready for a walk, but he's in the background, and then we'll sign off for today. There we go. A little bit of love from Apollo, who's looking extra fluffy. I hope all of you had a great week and a great, wish you a great week ahead. So lots of love from the two of us. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.